Hey, how you doing? Matt Strip Matter here. It's Friday night around 7:45. Uh, just sitting here reflecting about this past week, which was, in many respects, an awesome week. Obviously, as many of you guys know, we had only a 3-day week here in Montgomery County. I know probably in other areas around the area, they probably had only a couple days this week as well. So we had Wednesday 1 hour delay, Thursday full day, and Friday today was SOL day. So they took their SOLs for the first 3 periods of the day. Then for periods 4 and 5, we watched the movie WALL-E, which I'd never seen. It's actually pretty good. Can't complain. And it kind of introduces our new unit, which will be an interdisciplinary unit, starting next week on the environment, and the end product being the PSAs, the public service announcements they're going to make about how they can, positively impact the environment. That's the big so what. That's the big Dr. Cater so what. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be studying the environment and creating PSAs, public service announcements, that will really hopefully impact and kind of move some of the students. I mean, for 8th graders to be doing something like this is kind of cool, I think, and especially because it's interdisciplinary. Knowing that I'll be working with the science and the civics teachers as well is kind of unique, kind of something that I've never done before, and I'm really excited to do so. So, back to reflecting about this week. Wednesday and Thursday, my cooperating teacher was absent. She had to stay at home with her son who was ill. So, I had the opportunity to finish up my lesson, finish up my unit, and the way I wanted to. So Wednesday they got the revision sheets and they worked in partners and groups and revised each other's papers. Thursday they came to class, and for those that hadn't finished, we allowed them to utilize the time and finish their revision sheets. And then on Thursday in the afternoon, they had an opportunity to, not in the afternoon, but for half the period, they had an opportunity to create movie posters or book covers for their creative short stories. So it's kind of got them an opportunity to relax and kind of think about their creative stories that they had written and then create a book cover, something that they believe would really inspire or direct the reader's attention towards their creative short story. So they really liked that. They started using colored pencils, markers, and drew these really cool pictures as these front book covers, and that also is going to be handed in as one of the things that they need to hand in for the end of the project. So we did that, and then today was SOL day, and as I said earlier, we watched the movie WALL-E, and it was a really cool movie as well. So on Monday, before we actually get into the environmental unit, I'm expecting them to come to class with 5 things that'll be handed in as their big project for the last 3 weeks. We've done that creative unit for 3 weeks now. So they will be handing in their book cover, their final draft, their first draft, their revision sheet, and a rubric. So they have 5 things that'll be coming to me on Monday, which means another fun week and weekend of grading. But I'm really looking forward to it because with this writing prompt that I gave them, it really kind of inspired them to do as much as they could and really put a lot of thought and energy into it. The prompt was anything you want. So really, I had students writing about anything they really wanted to write about. I felt like that was something really cool that maybe other teachers wouldn't have done or maybe would kind of refrain from because they're worried about what kind of appropriate writing might happen. But I've walked around, I looked at everybody's paper, and it's really, really interesting to see how much creativity these writers have. I mean, they're taking prior experiences that they've had in their life and then kind of altering it a little bit to create these cool, imaginative stories. And I'm really excited to read all of them. I'm really excited to read all of them. I think I kind of pushed their boundaries a little bit because they started to see that, writing can be fun. It doesn't have to be work all the time. It doesn't have to seem, strict and stringent. So hopefully they've learned that, we can do a lot with the English classroom, and it involves more than just reading books and writing on prompts that you really don't want to. I was trying to make it as relative to their real life as possible because that's the big thing. I think that's most important. As a teacher, this past month that I've been in the classroom, I've realized that if you make subject matter interesting and relative to a student's everyday life, they're really going to pay attention and they're going to want to do stuff. You kind of got to understand that these students are people as well. Would you want to do something that really didn't seem interesting to you? No, you wouldn't want to. So how can we expect 8th grade students to want to do the same thing? Now, of course, there's going to be times where you have to do certain things, and those days might appear boring or not as fun as those other days, but that's okay. If you build in and create a lot of variety, make sure you use a lot of technology, make sure you use a lot of other little things, it'll create a more cultured classroom. And I think that's really what I'm looking for, is a cultured classroom with a lot of variety. As you all know, this past week, not this past week, but 2 weeks ago, I had the opportunity to go to Colorado and do job interviews there, and we took place in 9 interviews. And a lot of the questions that the interviewers asked me was about technology and how I incorporate it in the classroom. So I'm starting to realize that, that's something that they really want to see. They want to see variety in the classroom. So I'm trying to instill that in these next few weeks. Something cool that I've created this week, along with the special education teacher, is an iGoogle page and a WordPress page for 2 students in particular. These students are special needs students, and they have a tough time just sitting in class and writing because it's kind of beyond their capabilities, kind of beyond their abilities. It takes them a long time, takes them a really long time to get some small amount of work done. So what I thought would be cool, and a special education teacher agreed, we created an iGoogle page and a WordPress page for them. It's going to be about the environment, so they'll be following all the stuff that we're doing along with the public service announcements for the environmental unit we're coming up with, except they're going to be using this iGoogle page and this WordPress page to kind of answer questions that we're going to use. We're going to put on there, they're going to answer them. And then I was hoping that maybe, I'm going to get in there and respond to some of the answers that they give, and Miss Sim, my cooperating teacher, will go in there and give some of those, responses as well. And then hopefully, if we get this going pretty well, I'd like to, ask some of you guys out there if you guys wouldn't mind going in there and maybe responding to a couple of their answers or a couple of their questions, because I'm hoping they pose questions as well. And then for us, if we can go in there every once in a while and respond to a couple of them, I think it'll let them see that, this isn't just all about staying in the classroom, this is all it's going to be. I want them to realize that there's a bigger picture, other people out there care, other people out there care about them, care about their success. And that's something I really want to instill in these students in particular. Really want to use it as a motivator. I think with these 2 students in particular, their whole lives, people have been telling them, you're not going to be able to do it. You'll get to high school maybe, and that's it. But that's not how it should be. We should be motivating them positively. We should keep going with them. Don't tell them there's always light at the end of the tunnel. I asked one of these students the other day, how you doing? How's the paper coming? And or how's your short story coming? And they said, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I'm not gonna do anything with my life. And that's something that they've just been trained to believe, and that's not true. That's not true. Everybody has an opportunity to succeed. Might be different successes because of your capabilities, but within yourself, everybody has the opportunity to succeed. And that's something that I've learned definitely this month. It's something I've learned throughout my career at Virginia Tech and even before that. So I definitely want to instill in these students and all my students that they want to be motivated. I want them to be motivated to succeed, and their success might not be the same as my success, and my success may not be the same as some of yours, but that doesn't matter. We each have our own goals inside of us. We got to make sure as teachers that we cultivate those successes and make sure that they still dream big and still are motivated to do the best they can. That's my big idea. That's my big reflection for the week. Kind of gets me a little emotional thinking about it because it's sad. It's sad at times. It's sad to have students come to me and say they can't do it. Because I told a student this past week, and Katie actually was in the classroom, I said it shouldn't be in your vocabulary. I never want to hear a student say they can't do it, because we put our minds to it, we put our brains to it, we can actually do anything we put our minds to. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'm ready to watch a movie, make some dinner, and call it a night. And look forward to starting my interdisciplinary unit next week. Matt Strip Matter, signing off.